Testing the bearings. This is the open diff. And this is the LSD, the bearings. We're checking the bearings. Yeah, you keep getting stuck. I wouldn't even trust that bearing. So I'm gonna change the bearing on the bottom side of it. But I'm also gonna put back this final drive onto the open diff, right? So you can see the difference here, the open diff and the LSD, but the bearings on the LSD, this got messed up because this one here, I don't really have no problem. Alright y'all, so this is like day 5 of trying to deal with these bearings, right? So I'm really practicing, right? So this is the bearings that I got from under here, and this thing is completely messed up. Heat got to it on one side, and then it just got pulled apart. Well, the good news is I wasn't planning on using this bearing anyways, and I sanded down these tools real sharp. Right. I think I finally got it. Right, this is how I'll measure it up. So what I'll do is I'll take the piece that I've sanded down and kind of get a rough estimate. So I'll take it and I'll put it on the bearing here, so I know it needs to go, how far in it needs to go to meet the center. So this is the center here, and I know I need to catch it on here. So then I'll take a marker, then I'll set it on there, right, and just mark like right in the corner where I need, how far in I need it to go. So say I needed to go in right here, I'll mark it, right, and that's how much I would sand it. So just in comparison to how much, so this is the smaller one. You can, I don't know if you can see, I really had to like get into this. I would say it's probably not worth it. Depends on how much. If you can probably work some overtime and buy some brand new bearings, it'll probably be best to go it that way. For me, it's just hard once I start something, stop. Yeah, once I've committed to something, it's hard for me to stop, right? But I don't know if this, this is like I would say this is like a last resort to reuse these bearings, but figured since I'm already in it, and I started the content, I might as well stick through it. So, but the problem is because they go up on a level, like they go from real thin up. It's not giving me the opportunity to slide it up underneath that bottom piece like it's supposed to, right? So it's supposed to like slide up under there and catch, right? So you see, like if I push it on in there, yeah. Cut off my foot up tall. So you slide it up. If you slide it up under there, right, it's supposed to catch. Alright, so I got this nice and sharp. We'll put it on here. Work my way around. I'm gonna keep work my way around with this nice sharp edge till I can get it lifted enough where I can put this in there. Alright Alright, y'all. So I have to picking at it with this little chisel piece and this to kind of like create a gap in between there. I mean, it looks like it fits up in there much better, right? It's right up underneath there. I got it lifted real good, and I'm gonna get this tool set, get this thing up out of here. Man, I wish I would have done this a while ago. Like even with these nice and tight in there, the bearing still spins, right? Because it sits up so nice and flush under there. So now I can start putting the pieces on top, the adapters, and start working this thing off. Alright, y'all, so here we go. Got the wrench on there this time just to kind of manage it as I'm tightening up. Got 2 sockets just kind of center it, and you can always move this over left or right to get this ball pin or whatever it is in the center. But I make mine's real tall because I realize the longer this goes down is the more wobbly it is. So I'm trying to keep it short and start slowly working it up. Wow, that easy, huh? All you gotta do is create a gap in between, a little bit of gap, and then the tool fits right up in there. All that sanding I was doing wasn't even necessary. Wow. Wow. Oh gosh. And that's how you take out the bearings on damage. Alright, so now it's time to tackle this joint. Take out these 2 good bearings, right? After I done messed up these 2, well, I messed up only 1, right? But this one is a little bit loose. So now I know that these bearings are in perfectly good condition. Time to start working on getting these nice and sharp and working them in. Alright, y'all, so one thing I would definitely say, this bearing that sits on where the gearing is is definitely a harder bearing to get out, and it's the large of the two. So you have the two old bearings here, and it would be this one. As you can see, it's the one that I messed up. The other one doesn't seem that hard to take off, but this larger one, I guess because it's a little wider, you got to work a little bit harder to get into the ring. So trying to keep this bearing straight, right? And trying to keep it straight, and yeah, trying to keep it straight, trying to take my time and be patient with this one, and yeah, just be patient with that one. Keep that in mind. Definitely this bigger bearing, I got the tool on there, ain't no spinning this one while the tool is on there. Definitely got to be very, very, very patient with taking up this bigger bearing. Alright, y'all, so this one is starting to come up a little bit more. Got a little bit of space under there, right? I had already started cranking it, so what I'm gonna do now is loosen it, readjust the arm back underneath here, and then yeah, but I worked it up with some screwdrivers, this here, because like I said, the bigger bearing is a little bit harder to get up. So I just slowly worked it up, rotated, worked it up, rotated, worked up, rotated, and now I got it up just a little. I got it up just a little bit more. So I'm gonna readjust this tool here. I'm gonna readjust it and then pull it up. All right. Made some readjustment. Now I got it biting clear up under there. All right, get this thing up. I know someone will ask me if there is something I could do different. If I could do something differently, what would it be? And it would be to have more patience. Because the smaller bearing is going to be much easier to pull up. Much easier. Oop. Much better than this one. Yeah. You live and you learn, right? So this is 4 days of work. It's a little bit right here, but it's you know what I mean, you gotta really be panning in on it. But yeah, for the most part, man, get these bearings off, and it's not like this is the good one, this is the messed up one. This one just sticks. It sticks because it's egg shaped. Flip this around. Alright, get this bearing up. Then I'll have 2 of the small bearing, so just in case I mess up. So what I'll do is when I'm putting them on, since I have 2 of these, I'll practice, because I might have to use a little bit of a heat. And you know, you're just practicing, you know. Sometimes, you know, you can buy a new one and it's easier, but you don't necessarily learn anything. Wow, this one here literally took me like a few minutes to pick up. You know, the tool just slides right under it. Oh man. Billy rock stang, ball bang. See you okay, gone again. Not all messed up and warped. So now I got big bearings, small bearings off. Now here comes the fun part, getting the fire in the ring. Make sure you keep this thing rotating or it will warp this here. Cause I'm the fireman. Fight the fireman. You just spark it up and I'ma put you out. Oh, doing the wrong bearing. I need to be doing the big one first. Matter of fact, I'll just go ahead and do the small one while I'm at it. Let's see how this works. Bam! Fall right on there. Probably missed that. So I'm now doing the big one. I flipped it upright, but when I put it on, I'm going to put it on like this. So when I take it up, I'm going to flip it over and put it on there. But I want to get the fire going right in here. Right in there. Keep it rotating, keep it going. Sizzle. Nope. Need more fire. More fire, more fire, more fire. Alright, so you gotta constantly heat and then stop let it sit for a few seconds. And so I go around it about 20 times each time, and then I'll stop for like 10 seconds, then I'll go around it again. So definitely don't let this thing sit in one spot. God damn it. Alright, one more fight. One, two, three, four, five. There you go. Thing is smoking. Hot fire. So now I'm going to Loctite these bolts, tighten them up, and I'll be all done with this differential. This bearing here is nice and cool. A little bit on the free side, but hey, I'm done for the night. It's like 1:30 in the morning. Loctite them, put them in. Remember, and screw them the opposite way to tighten them. So you're supposed to torque these down, but I don't have the torque spec, so I'm just YOLOing it. But get the torque spec for your differential. Alright, done with that for the night. So that thing got some weight on it. Got the ring gear on. Got the bearing on. Got the bearing on. Clean it down with some brake clean. Spray a little brake clean on it. Get any kind of dirt off of it. And I'm gonna wipe it down with a nice little rag. Set it to the side to throw into the transmission. Hey, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, man. One love. Stay up, stay blessed, stay strong.